Okay, good evening. We are going to get started this evening. Thank you all very much for showing up. It's been a long time since we've looked each other in the eyes. Still no high fives or hugs, but we'll get there. We'll get there. But a few of you showing up in person, I really appreciate that. We got others watching on Facebook Live, and then we'll post this on our YouTube channel as well. This is definitely a different meeting than we normally have this time of year. I sure wish we had all the banquet tables set up and doing our normal potluck. But I think just being able to meet a few of us in person is a big step, so we'll take that. So with that, we'll go ahead and get started with the Pledge of Allegiance and then the Texas Pledge as well. So if you'd like to rise. Pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. On the Texas flag, I pledge allegiance to thee, Texas, one state, under God, one and indivisible.
Thank you all very much. I could lie and say I used to have that memorized, but we took a break, and that's why I don't. But I don't think I ever got the Texas Pledge down.
It doesn't have anything to do with it.
Yeah, you're right. It doesn't. To remember one thing, I got to forget two. So for a few introductions this evening, we do have enough people. For board members and others, when I call your name, please just stand up so those of us around might be new or again, it's just been long enough. We can kind of put some names to some half faces behind the mask. But for the board, my name is Matt Wine, president of the board. We have Charmaine LeBlanc, Donna Fain, right over here, okay. Dale Davidson, right here, good. Matthew Cowan in the back. Byron Weiner, right here. John Lorenz, and Pat Menville, right up front. And Elizabeth Schooler. And not with us this evening, Caitlin Washman, Almina Downey, and Heather Hanley. So thank you all very much for coming this evening and supporting all this. From the office, we have Scott Gilbert running camera. And then Alice wasn't here yet. We have Councilmember Edward Pollard here, along with his Director of Constituent Services, David Rizuela. And he'll be speaking to us in a moment, Councilman Pollard. We also have our SEAL security in the back there. I think Charmaine will bring them up front a little bit, and then we have some HPD representatives in the back. One of those. Houston Baptist, wait a minute. Houston. All right, HPD in the back. So thank you all very much for coming this evening. You'll see them under a safety section as well. So I'll still have you raise your hand or stand if you want. If this is your first meeting, it seems kind of silly because we hadn't had one in so long, but still, if this is your first meeting that you've come to or first time being involved with anything with the SCA, anybody new here for the first time, you don't have to sing or dance. I just wanted to, there we go, got a few people. Thank you all very much for coming. Like many other meetings, this is usually a monthly meeting and with 100 to 120 people at it. So, but with circumstances, again, very pleased to have this many people here this evening, with everybody keeping their distance and everything. And I mentioned this a little bit before, but we do have some box lunches, some box meals to go. They're not meant to be eaten here, so we do have those in the back when we're done. If you do need to leave a little early, don't hesitate to ask one of the board members to grab one on your way out. That's okay. You're not trapped here for your meal. But we do have that, the boxes from BB's Cafe. And also, and those are for everybody that's here. We have 60, so it should be enough. That's for everybody. The voting is for SCA members. So for those of you that are paid members of the SCA, please make sure that you've received a ballot in the back and you filled that out real quick and dropped it in the box. And we'll tally those shortly here and announce that at the end. We did mention a Parks Board table. Unfortunately, she was feeling a little under the weather and couldn't come this evening, so they did have a flyer printed out, and then we can address some of that a little later as well if you have any questions about the Center Point Easement Park and Parks Board information. So, so with that, I'd like to, because he always works full days, nights, weekends, holidays, such is the life of a politician, right? So I'd like to start and bring up Councilman Pollard. Can say a few words to us. I will say that it's nice to see you in a suit again.
Yeah.
Through all this stuff, not having this many meetings, the last, I don't know, 6-8 times I've seen you, you've been sweating your butt off in a pair of jeans and a t-shirt, either passing out food distribution or COVID safety supplies, working in a garden. Last weekend I saw you, so I appreciate all your time you give that way, and it's good every once in a while to be able to get dressed up in front of people. So, Councilman Pollard.
Good evening. Good evening. Good evening. There we go. Come on. We're back out at Dalen. This is exciting. Anytime I can get back in front of people, I'm excited because, you know, everything is virtual these days. And you just can't develop relationships and engage with people anymore. And that can get kind of lonely, right? And so, like you said, it's good to be able to put on real clothes. Sometimes during the virtual meetings, you know, I have the tie and the shirt on up top, but then have some gym shorts on underneath. But wanted to go over a few things with you all to catch you up on things that have been happening within the District J office that pertain to Sharpstown. The number one thing that we have been doing regarding public safety since I was elected earlier this year was the District J Patrol. And we unveiled that District J Patrol about a month or so ago. And what the District J Patrol is going to be a community-led patrol, HPD patrol, that focuses on, there we go, that focuses on lower-level neighborhood-related crimes and violations. So we all know that, let me take this off.
Thank you.
Thank you. We all know that HPD is spread very thin. And because of that, they can only get to so many criminal acts at a time. And many times they're going to prioritize the high crimes first. So the rapes, the assaults, the murders, those are going to be prioritized before junk motor vehicles, okay? But the junk motor vehicles, the panhandling, the highways, the public nuisances, the code violations, those are things that plague our neighborhood and our area a lot. And we have to see that every single day. And so what we wanted to do was supplement HPD by bringing on our own patrol that's going to focus solely on those issues. And it will be community-led, which means that we have representatives of each neighborhood in District J that will sit on this task force, and they are the ones that will be the eyes and the ears of that particular area to collaborate with HPD on the issues and concerns they want addressed. And so for the Sharpstown area, we actually have 2 of our task force members here, and we have 3 overall. We have Mr. Corky Fowler, but joining us here, we also have Ms. Charmaine LeBlanc and Ms. Pat Menville. And so they will be serving on the task force to represent Sharpstown. And so we're actually working on an online portal right now that we should have up and running very soon. And what that online portal is is going to give everyone in the district access to be able to identify their neighborhood, identify the issue and concern they want to get addressed, and that will get to the task force and HPD so that they can promptly address that issue. And so this is going to be the first of its kind. There's never been a HPD-led, community-led patrol like this. There's never been a community-based portal that's going to be like this. So District J is leading the way on that. So you'll get additional information regarding the patrol in the days ahead. Next up, we have many projects that we have been submitting and getting approved for completion in the Sharpstown area. We have panel replacements happening on Mary Bates and Carville, panel replacements on Sharp Crest at Barberton, new curb and gutter at 7812 Sandpiper Drive, sidewalk repair, Albacore from Sutton Elementary to Bissonnet. We're repainting several speed cushions. David said over 10, right? Over 10 speed cushions. We're repainting over 10 crosswalks. And so there are things in the pipeline in the portal right now for the Sharpstown area that we are doing. We have been in contact with your president, Matt Wine, on projects and things that you all need addressed. And so you can always follow up with our office at districtj@houstoncx.gov for any projects or needs that you want to see improved in the area, as well as go through 311. Sometimes we can do it through our council district service funds, which are discretionary dollars that each district council member gets. And then sometimes it'll just be done by the Public Works Department. But always report those to 311 and then call our office, and then we will follow up on that. I think a week or two ago we did trick-or-treating, the reverse trick-or-treat. And I want to give a special thank you to Elizabeth Bagby Schooler on coordinating that effort. So she came up with this very creative idea that instead of the children going door to door for Halloween, we wanted to do something that was a little more safe due to COVID. And so we did a reverse trick-or-treating where we got a caravan and we went through each street and we passed out candy and goodies to the residents. And there were so many kids and families that came outside and were running down the driveway, excited to get some candy and excited to see the police officers and all of the volunteers that showed up. We were blazing the sirens and the horns, and I know some people were like, what is going on? But it was a really cool sight to see so many people in the community come out and have a good time amidst everything else that we've been dealing with. Let's see here. We just talked about COVID. The numbers for the city of Houston are rising daily. COVID is still out there. It's alive and well. We're just trying to find ways to mitigate it. And that's why doing what we're doing tonight helps. Wearing your face coverings, socially distancing, practicing proper hygiene, all of those things go a long ways to mitigating the community spread. Until there is, a vaccine, there's not much we can do other than those things. So we all have to be diligent because this is a behavior-driven virus. And if we all do our part, we can mitigate it as much as possible. So continue to make your friends, family, and co-workers aware of ways in which to continue to do that. I know we're going into the Thanksgiving holiday. Always great to be around your family, but try as much as possible to keep the gatherings to a reasonable amount of people. We've also partnered with Memorial Hermann Southwest recently, and we have opened up a neighborhood health center on the complex. Many times, people who do not have adequate resources or may not have insurance, they tend to go to the emergency room whenever they need treatment or healthcare needs. And what that does is that ties down the doctors in the ER for the people who really have a true emergency. And so we opened up the neighborhood health center right next door on the complex, and that will be staffed with physicians, general practitioners, and specialists that no matter if you have insurance or not, they're going to treat you at a significantly lower price range so that you can get the health care that you need. So anyone that may not have insurance or may not have the means to pay and something happens, you still can go to Memorial Hermann Southwest and go next door to the ER, which is the neighborhood health center. And so please get that out to your friends and neighbors as well. And we will be putting out additional information on that to the SCA so you all can disseminate. As I stated before, always remember to report everything to 311. That is the first line of getting any of your issues and concerns addressed, and our office will continue to monitor that. David here is our constituent services director. Many times he's taking the brunt of the calls, whether they are pleasant or not as pleasant, but he does a tremendous job at trying to be as responsive as possible and as prompt as possible. And he's Sharpstown's own. He grew up in Sharpstown, went to all Sharpstown schools, went to HBCU, so he understands this area very well, still lives in Sharpstown. So there's a lot going on pertaining to Sharpstown with the District J office. We're excited in the days ahead. 2020 has been a challenging year. When I was elected, I never thought I would be getting elected into a pandemic, but we're managing and making the most of it. And I want to thank all of you all for your support. Continue to reach out to us if you need anything. And if you have any questions, I can address them now. If not, I have a very blessed and happy Thanksgiving.
Thank you very much, Councilman Pollard. And I'll echo what he said about David as well. So hopefully you put again a half face with the name there. He's really the first point of contact when you have an issue you'd like to get, issue a comment, any communication with the District J office. He's usually the first one to reach out to you. So, and he does an amazing job with that. So thank you very much for that, David. And he's also always right there next to Councilman Pollard in the jeans and t-shirts, sweating and making the gardens. In fact, I think he was the last one there last week when we were helping the gardens there at Ed White Elementary. Something he does on the side as well. So thank you very much. All right, well, I was just going to cover, we have a few other people to bring up, but myself, I was going to cover just a few things we've worked on throughout the year. Councilman Pollard mentioned a few of these kind of on a grander scale, some of those projects, but here what Sharpstown, what the board has worked on. And really, I just really like to thank all the board members. There's 12 of us on the board, and I'd like to thank all of them for the hard work they've done this year. Again, another time to say a challenging year. It has been for everybody. But, you know, it's something new for us to go through. What do you do when you can't meet in person and you just have to change your schedule up and try new things. But the board did meet every month. We met virtually online, and it started getting easier and easier. Trying to get a whole new group of people that might not be in the working force anymore comfortable with Skype can be a challenge. I'm in the working force, and being comfortable with Skype is a challenge. So, but everybody did a great job with that. We, like I said, we've met every month still with our board meetings, and continue to work on some important projects. The biggest one being that we maintained a solid budget this year by really continuously looking at and reducing our expenses while we're still able to maintain our staff and our security patrols. We continue to work on updating our deed restrictions and look at that legal language and update it. We're down in the weeds on the specific platting for Sharpstown to get that done. We have created and adopted a driveway policy for consistency in the area. We've created and adopted a security camera usage policy for our test run of the license plate cameras we're trying. We're currently working on a short-term rental policy. That is something that as legal decisions get made and change, our lawyers let us know that definitions have changed and now we need a short-term rental policy to kind of cover the same things we used to cover. Our incredible and awesome SCAN magazine still goes out every other month. That is our consistent update for all households because that's a mailed out piece. We have really tried to stay in contact via email. That's probably why all of you are here this evening because you got our email blast, so hopefully those are helpful. But that's such a small percentage of people that volunteer and decide and know to be put on that list. But our SCAN is our magazine that we're able to get out to every household and kind of keep everybody updated. So we're glad to keep that going out. And then also we continue to improve our communication with residents that have DR violations. We feel as though this is very important. Our goal as the SCA is not to sue people. It's not to take people to court. It's not to have long, drawn-out issues that won't be fixed. We're here simply to, maintain our deed restrictions and maintain our community standards. So we've really worked more on the front end, and this is definitely mostly with Scott and the office staff has done a tremendous job. It's been a couple years, but certainly this year's been even a better job of working on and communicating with the people that have the violations and trying to solve those up front. I want to thank Pat Menville too and Charmaine for working on a piece that goes out, just working on other languages, on pieces that go out. Sometimes when we have to collect legal fees after something has been remedied, Pat's currently working on that, or has been working on that. That's been very successful. It just really saves us from having to go to our lawyers as often, because that costs money. That costs money that nobody wants to spend, including us, and certainly not residents. So that's been very successful this year. As far as things in person, events we've had this year, we had our, I believe, February general meeting was at Plaza Americas, the old Sharpstown Mall, and for a lot of us, I think that was the first time we've been in Plaza America, or first time in a long time we've been in Sharpstown Mall. It was for me, and that was a lot of fun, especially when we went for ice cream afterwards. We had a community shred day for people all over to bring in their documents. I think this was after a month or two in some isolation, so people had some extra time at home to get all their documents together, and it was a busy day. We were there for 3 hours, and we had a steady line for 3 hours, and we filled the truck, which is about 50 loads of a big city trash can, basically. So we are definitely looking to do that again. That was at the SCA office and just something free we decided to put together, and I think very successful. The SCA provided numerous volunteers to community activities, as previously mentioned, like food distribution, census and COVID material distribution, and then park cleanups, just to name a few. We also did the Sharpstown Proud Porch Picks, Sharpstown Safari for Kids, and the Sharpstown Trick or Treat Train, or whatever we're calling it, but I thought that was catchy. And those last three are really, again, I want to thank Elizabeth Schooler. She's a resident photographer, so she has that artistic side that goes after stuff like that, and I think those were all a lot of fun things to do while we were all, in the community and stuck at home, if you will. So Some of the things that have happened this year, and again, just want to thank the board and all the other volunteers that have come together to do those. So next, Dale Davidson is going to say something about Christmas.
As most of you know, we like to celebrate Christmas around here. We like to honor or recognize those that do an extra special job in decorating their home, and so make sure you get yours ready to go at least by the second weekend of December, and from that second weekend through maybe a week or two after that, we'll be going around and making sure each section will be judged. If you would like to help us with this project, just let us know. We can definitely use your help. We'll need individuals to choose to judge a particular area, and it'd be nice if people that didn't live in the area could come and look and pick out which one is the nicest one to them. That way we won't have the same one over and over again, winning every year. But we have some really great houses across Sharpstown that decorate quite well, and I've already seen on Beech Nut coming over here, there's some folks that are already ready to go. They've got theirs out, and I think we're all just ready for that kind of excitement. So put your decorations out, we'll come by and look at it. Thank you.
Thank you, Dale. Yes, you did mention we're already seeing some out there, and if you've been to the stores, if you've been to Home Depot or Lowe's, I was at IKEA last month. It's just empty shelves because people are at home and building their castles out, right? And I think Christmas lights will be part of that as well. We'll see. I plan to see a lot more out this season as people are at home. So definitely, if you want to help, well, we encourage everybody to put their own Christmas lights out, but if you want to help judge that on our end, we'd love for your help to do that and pick it. We'll do that section by section like Dale said. Pat Menville would like to say something.
Hello, everybody. Hello. Getting the signal, okay, that's better. I'm a short person. I just wanted to add a little something to what Matt said about, obviously this gathering tonight is very different from our previous years. We've seen a lot of differences in our life this year, but the one thing that has not changed, that's something that I hold on to very dearly, is what I call the spirit of Sharpstown. I've seen this spirit over many, many years. I saw it through Tax Day and Memorial Day floods. More recently, I saw it during Harvey, when neighbors with big trucks went out with a tow rope and hauled home the small cars of some of their neighbors. And sometimes they would go and wade through water with their chainsaw and cut up a tree that had fallen and was blocking a neighbor's house. I see people all the time reaching out to one another, to total strangers. I've seen it this year. I saw people who in the very early days, when masks were not to be found anywhere, they dug down in their dresser drawer and got their bandanas and hand-sewed masks and delivered them to those in need. I saw others who donated and delivered toilet paper to stay-at-home seniors. I've seen so much goodwill and so much compassion and caring, and to me that's the best of Sharpstown that's endured through the years, and I have no doubt that it will keep on. We are a large community. We don't always get to know one another by name, but somehow we always find the will and the ability to care for one another, and for that I particularly give thanks this year. So I hope you all have a good Thanksgiving with those that matter most to you, and I look forward to serving in the year to come. That's the other thing that doesn't change from year to year. The board has always worked to serve you. As Matt said, we are now meeting online with all the strange excitement that can engender. We love what we do because we love our community and we love all of you. So thank you for being here tonight with us.
Thank you, Pat. And she's right about the online meetings when Councilman Pollard talked about that. I'll have to try that. So you actually put nice clothes on the top too? Because I'm usually just in a tank top and Speedos. And it gets everybody on the call. I don't know. I'm supposed to picture y'all like that, not reverse. Wait a minute. Well, yeah, again, thank you, Pat, for saying that. Next, I'd like Matthew Cowan will come on up. He's our resident elections expert. And I think everybody, when they checked in, if you're a paid member, you got the ballot to vote. This is, you know, we do floor votes in October, so it's never big and contentious or exciting at the November meeting. Sorry about that. It's kind of boring, right? But he's going to come on up and read out the slate there.
Good evening, folks. It's great to see y'all here. So we had a total of 28 people who voted for the slate. For the candidates on the list for election tonight were Charmaine LeBlanc, Byron Weiner, John Lorenz, Matt Wine, Elizabeth Schooler, Almeida Downey, and John Davalos for directors. Each of them were voted for unanimously. The candidates for president were Matt Wine, Charmaine LeBlanc, for vice president, for secretary, Pat Minville, and treasurer, Elizabeth Schooler, and all candidates were voted for. So those are your officers for your board of directors and executive board for 2021 and 2022. Thank you.
Thank you, Matthew. Whew, came down to the wire, didn't it? all the people running. But you'll notice the big green arrow there that was on the last one. Mr. Jason Davalos, he's standing in the back there. Yeah, thank you for the round of applause, because really he stepped forward as a new board member this year, and we love new board members. So I guess all the months standing up here talking about how fun this is got to him. And then also we do have another interested person as well. Mr. Casey Cummings will be joining the board as well. He missed the cutoff for the ballot this evening, but we have open slots, so he'll be appointed to that by myself. So thank you for Casey and Jason for joining us, getting some new perspectives in, some fresh blood, and we look forward to another good year with them on board. And I think I would like to thank Heather Hanley. She's not here this evening. She's one of the members that board members couldn't make it this evening, but I would just like to thank her. She is not able to continue on the board next year. So, you know, obviously I want to thank all of the board for all the work they do, but with Heather, she is stepping down at the end of this year. So just want to thank her for all the work she's put in over the years on the board. And with that, I'll bring up Charmaine and we'll talk some finance, membership, and safety. All the fun stuff. And you're going to have to keep their attention because they're usually at dessert by about now.
No pressure. No pressure. That's right. Well, I was telling somebody that
I used to feel very organized coming to these meetings. I had certain bags, and those bags of things needed to come with me. And tonight was just felt weird. I didn't have everything I needed, including we let the batteries and the clicker go out for the slides. So Matt, would you please go sit there and do the clicker? Actually, just gotta do space bar in a minute. A couple things let's go over. Membership. It's a little bit sad. We haven't been at 21% since 2013. Luckily, dollar-wise, we're a little bit better than that. But honestly, I feel very thankful that we had 21% of our residents feel like they were in a position to be able to send in anything. And so, thank you, everybody that was able to send it in. And membership is about to start for 2021. Do what you can. That's all we ask. We will keep a hefty budget. Our budget, $300,000. We know how important it is to keep SEAL going. We know how important it is to keep our deed restriction violations going. We know what the priorities are, and we are doing our best to try to watch our budget. Could you go to the next slide, please? I very simplified our budget for this screen, and just so you can kind of see what we've got in the bank. We have used a little bit of our reserves for this year, because when we set our budget was meant to be at a 24 or 25% membership rate. But we've also very much tried to watch our pennies and cut where we could, so that we did not dip into our reserve any more than we had to. The financials are on our website in full all the way up through the end of October. It shows check registers, it shows a breakdown of our expenses. Please go there, and then please, if you ever have any questions or would like to have an explanation of something, contact me, contact Scott. We would love to explain that. Go ahead and go to the trail. I'm going to go just a little bit out of order here. Lisa should be on Facebook Live. No, she's not back there, Scott. Lisa is with Houston Parks Board. She's been at several of our meetings, and she has been talking about our what they're calling the Center Point Trail. This is the TERS, the Texas Tax Increment Reinvestment Zone number 20, has given us $2-something million to start on our trail that will go along Gessner from about Sands Point out the other end near Beech Nut to connect to the Brays Bayou Trail, so that someone could ride a bike from downtown up to Gessner over to Art Story Park. It's a 180-mile plan in Houston to connect all these trails for hiking and biking. So we've got a wonderful north-south part of that. Segment 1 is they are going to be going out to bid in just the next couple of months, and that trail should be completed by midsummer or early fall, that section of it. Now it's going to have to just be a circle, round and around, because the north part won't be done and the south part won't be done yet, so we really can't go anywhere except over dirt. But it's just so wonderful to see that we've got something going on sort of an ugly, grassy, not very pretty spot of land that Centerpoint is now realizing they can access rights, grant rights to the homes and to people like the TERS Board to be able to allow us to travel on that. Now, will I ever get a dog park or community gardens or the playground? Maybe not in my lifetime, but I'm not stopping with the trail because I feel like it has a lot more potential. And I would just love to see a dog park off of Gessner and Neff or somewhere in that area. We're sort of bare in the dog parks. There are 3 slides here that have been going over and over again. You will be given a handout that talks about the trail. Houston Parks Board is very interested in community feedback. They certainly don't want to put something in our neighborhood that is not something we want. And so they very much welcome feedback from residents on whether it's issues on safety or on how will it be cleaned or how will it be maintained, all kinds of questions. So those are the kinds of things that they would very much welcome your feedback or your questions. And Lisa, their contact information is on that handout for you. We have had more detailed input from them on what the crossings will look like, and I won't talk about that right now. but it's pretty darn exciting as far as I'm concerned. All right, I don't think I have any more slides. So there we go. All right.
I'm
Let's.
exhausted.
All right, you did good, Matt.
Yeah,
You did
thank
a
you.
really
Thank
good
you.
job.
Why he's the president.
That's right. That's why he gets the big bucks. That's right. All right, let's talk about safety. Safety is super, super important to Sharpstown. It's our highest budgeted item within our budget, and as it should be. I would like to do a couple things. First of all, I've got 2 HPD officers that are hiding in the back
Yeah.
that I would like to invite to the front. Alex Chan has been in front of you before. He is a DRT officer out of Midwest, but this other face is brand new to this group. He has, this is Sergeant Cass, who has now taken over for Sergeant Wynn,
Right.
Midwest DRT. And I'm going to invite him to say a few words. You haven't been here very long yet, and without us being able to meet in person, we haven't, really gotten to see you yet. But we're so appreciative of HPD. We have Sharpstown so big. We've got 3 HPD houses that help us, including West Side, just a little tiny sliver of West Side. But South Gessner, Midwest. And without the cooperation of HPD, we would, I feel like we're a little island, a little oasis in our location. And it's very important that we have you guys to help us keep it safe and keep it very livable so that we want to stay here. So here's your audience. We're Facebook Living, so there's people there too.
Now that I'm on the spot, I'm going to do my best. So I made some notes in the back while I was hiding out over there. Welcome everyone. I want to say it's finally nice to see people in person. I'm not a big Zoom type of guy, so I just like feeling people's energy, and they can get to know me, and I get to know them better. So my name's Mike Cass, and I'm a sergeant out of the 18th district. So this is 17th district, 18th across the freeway, right behind Sharpstown Mall or that area. So Alex Chan, one of my community service officers. So we have a lot of big plans for him coming up. And then we also have the District J patrol vehicle. So can you hear me okay through the, okay, all right.
There you go.
Okay, I feel better also. So I figured it'd be fair to introduce myself. Before I was a sergeant at the 18th district, I was a homicide detective. So I worked a murder squad, night shift weekends. So I got my life back. But I did love doing that. So when I promoted, I came out to Midwest and I was supervising the field training division. So all the new guys that came out of the academy, they saw me first, and I got them on the right foot. So even when I was an officer, I was a field training officer, and I trained Alex years ago. His first day at work. But so it's funny how things come full circles in our life sometimes. Share a short story. So I'm from a blue collar family in Detroit, Michigan. So I come here, I was a policeman up there for 10 years before I came down here. I come to Houston and I'm assigned to a district and a beat. And it happens to be this exact district and this exact beat, which is kind of neat. So, and I didn't know this was nice. I mean, I've been back here before, but never inside the building, and this is super nice in here. So I figured I'd share that with you. So we do have some big plans for District J. We got the patrol vehicle, which worked out at Halloween. I'm not sure if you guys saw the Halloween event that took place. We did that. And also, like the councilman told us earlier, we are spread thin, and I want everyone to know that we do very, very well with what we got. And I can say that with certainty because I worked someplace else before. So some people have never, I've worked in other cities before, in other states. And I'm telling you, we do really, really good with the manpower that we have. And some people don't realize this, and I like to share this when I'm talking to people one-on-one. A lot of times they think maybe we're not doing enough, or we're stopping for fuel, or we're going to lunch. I can say I worked here for 13 years, and if you see a black and white police car, Houston police car on the road, they're going to a call, or they have a call holding in their box where they're going to stop and try to grab a bite to eat. So I want to let you guys know that they're working hard, or we're all working hard, and when you see them going, they're going to a call. You know, they're not just driving around. There may be an hour or so in certain times of the day where the calls slow down, but sure as I'm standing here, they're on their way to a call that's holding. They might get in that patrol car and there's 15 calls holding and they're beat, and they're just prioritizing it. And when they're on that call, dispatch is telling them to go to the next call. So sometimes they gotta get off that call and just do the paperwork later, and it gets built up. But I'm here to say we're doing really, really well for the manpower that we have. So we're here tonight to answer any questions, and if you guys have any advice for us, maybe we can work together to make things run smoother. And just one last thing I want to mention, because I'm seeing this more often in my new position. Sometimes when there's problems in certain parts of the community, they'll call the police once and then email me 15 times. But we, you know, and it might be on the weekend, or it might be certain hours when we're not there, but it's important to show a pattern of something taking place. If there's loud music, or a bad neighbor, or something you see a lot, it's nice to have that we can pull up that the police have been called at that location 5 times this week versus once. You know, so, but if we can all work together, if you have any questions, what I'm gonna do, I have a stack of business cards I'm gonna leave on the back table. If you wanna pick some of those up, you can have my email address on it and shoot me an email or call me or whatever, or if you want me to meet me somewhere, I'll meet you somewhere. But I'm just glad to see people in person for once.
Nancy, you want to feed them on the way out? They've already been working a full day. So guys, if you do not want to stay to the end, which you could, but we've got BB's, fried turkey, sandwich, lunch boxes back there that are what we're giving away as people leave for our play on Thanksgiving dinner. So anyway, we really appreciate you guys coming to our meetings, even though you've already had an entire full day. We do have an HPD overtime fund. The board has approved, I believe we're on our 3rd funding of an HPD overtime little pot of money. What we use that for is to be able to get quality of life issues, mostly why people like to abandon vehicles in Sharpstown, I just don't know. But we have very many more than our share of a lot of neighborhoods. And you might just see a car in your street and then wonder, well, I wonder why it hasn't moved in the last month. Well, it takes getting HPD involved in order for them to mark those tires, be able to come back and make sure that vehicle has not moved, and then be able to come back and issue a citation before they can even have it towed. So it's a bit of a process, and it's beyond our ability or SEAL's ability to do. SEAL locates these vehicles for us, and then we report it to HPD. And the DRT team, which is exactly what they are, they're the ones that are responding to this and helping us get these vehicles out of the neighborhood. Prohibitive yard parking is the other issue that we also have people that just think it's okay to drive up in your front yard, and we don't like that at all. We worked hard to get the ordinance passed in the neighborhood and make it illegal, but it is a bit of a training issue, and we always want to educate our neighbors, nicely first, and then if we can't get them to understand that it's not a good thing, then we use our HPD overtime to help them educate. So we're very glad to have the budget that we can do that with, and I kind of see that continuing to happen as long as HPD is spread thin and are not able to respond every IOV in a normal shift. They're just not going to get down to that kind of a call, and that's okay. We've got the ability to help with that. The other thing I want to mention is, and I'm going to have you guys come up here at the very end, but I do want to mention that SEAL, I've lost track of how many years we've had a SEAL patrol, but it's been a bunch, been 6 or 7 or 8, feels like 20, and 7, going on 8. I will announce that I believe I'm going to recommend to the board that we do an RFP for this year, a request for RFQ, one of those things. We're going to go out for bid on our security patrol has nothing to do with being dissatisfied with anything that our SEAL contract has given us. It's just a good business thing to do every so often, is always just test the waters, see what's out there. We might learn something that another security company is offering that we might want to have SEAL do if they, again, continue the contract into 2021. So this is something that we've announced. We want to be above board as a board, and we want to make sure that if there are other security companies out there that would be interested in being on this RFQ, we want you to please feel free, and we will announce on our website and by email when we will start sending out that contract proposal. I wanted to mention about the Halloween parade. I know that my section, they ran out of candy and they ran out of daylight, and they never got over to my section, and I had neighbors going, "You told me they were going to come." And so Facebook Live, I just have to tell you that it was amazing, but we learned an awful lot, and we will do it very differently if we do this again to make sure that all the kiddos are going to be given candy and covered. And we were so excited when the parade was over to talk about how fun it was and what we could do differently to make sure that we cover all the areas. So when it was mentioned that we had the parade and we went everywhere, we actually realized we didn't, and we were so sorry. It was so disappointing that night to read online that the kids had sat out in their front yards. It's so silly to tear up about that, but I just pictured the little guys doing that. So we're going to do so much better next year. Don't worry. Anthony, Nancy, could you get Anthony out of that office over there while he's on his way in? Matt, that's all I have.
SEAL.
At the end. Are we done? Well, you can do it. You can do it. All right, SEAL, come in. And it always takes a minute to have Anthony come out. It is tradition that at this meeting that we, because it's not quite Christmas yet, but we won't meet in December. Anthony, come on. Come on. Anthony is the staffer here at Bayland and help us set up, help us clean up. We have not met here this year very much. We really missed him, and when we got here tonight, it was kind of fun, like old home week, just to see Anthony again. But we always, I put my notes on the back of your envelope, I'm very sorry. But we want to recognize Anthony with just a little gift from the SCA to recognize that we really appreciate you letting us be here and you working hard for us, and we just appreciate you. So. All right, our SEAL officers, we're missing two. They had kids and have to go home and pick them up and things like that. So it's okay. But these two guys have certainly been around for quite some time. I saw a picture today of Captain Eatman, and I know we miss him and he misses us. But these guys, they just do an amazing job. I hope everyone has had a chance to talk to them, meet with them, see them driving and stop them and ask a question or tell them what a great job that we think they are doing, because we do. And I just want to recognize them with a little gift from the SCA. And that's all I have.
Thank you very much, Charmaine. On a safety note, I do want to mention that the past couple days, we have seen a spike in we've had some car thefts. Are they car thefts or thefts from cars?
Car theft.
Car thefts, okay.
Section 1 and 2.
It's section 1 and 2. So HPD is definitely aware of that, SEAL is aware of that, but just want to make sure everybody out there, again, this should be all the time, but just, do what you can to lock all your things up and utilize your garage as you can. So they're working to help that for the last 2 or 3 days, I think we've seen five evenings. So please keep that in mind. And with that, I think the rest of any time we have, we've got some different groups you've heard from this evening. HPD is in the back if you have any questions for them. We have SEAL in the back if you have questions for them. If you have any questions for any board members, any board-related questions, please feel free to ask Jason. He is ready and knowledgeable to handle it all. We have a quick 30-second training in the back. And and then also we will be, please grab a meal. If you're milling about or on your way out, grab a meal. And with that, the last thing we have is our door prizes. Does everybody have a ticket? From years past, we used to do, a member and a non-member. Tonight, we're just doing one color ticket. Everybody should have one. If you don't have one, raise your hand high. Everybody's got them? Okay. So tonight, we have 3 great gifts provided by Liberty Office Products. And these are COVID bags. So, yeah, I know. Let's go steal some toilet paper and put them in there too. Anthony wouldn't like that. So we have masks, and we have Lysol wipes, and permanent masks, and Purell. I mean, a year ago, you'd look at that and go, whatever. Now that's kind of gold almost, right? I mean,
Especially these.
especially the wipes. Certainly better for me than that Whataburger's gift certificate I used to get. All right. So with that, we've got 3. I'll draw 3. Can't see. 3, 2, 2, 8, 2, 1. 8, 2, 1. Where are you? Over there. Oh, so quiet. They're so shy. All right, next one. 819. 819.
Got to be present to win.
819. All right, no 819. Next one, 809. 80. That a winner? Okay. Everybody so quiet. It is a large, big crowd. It's scary. Y'all are scary.
Thank you.
818.
Uh-oh.
818. All right. Thank you all very much for coming this evening. Thank you, board members, for an awesome year. And again, different groups around if you'd like to ask any questions or just mingle.
Did we pick up chairs? Pick up chairs?
Yes, if you could help pick up chairs and stack them on the walls. And grab a meal. And thank you for watching on Facebook Live. For those of you here, if you forget what happened, then you can look it up on our YouTube channel.
They match.